So after all the false starts and changed plans getting from Cedar City over to Moab, but also seeing the wonderful potential for mountain biking and bikepacking in this area, we're kind of left wondering whether we should keep to our original plan or not. Originally the idea was to go from Moab northeast via the Porcupine Rim and Kokopelli trails, but that looked on paper to be just a little bit beyond us. We were set up for long distance touring, not bikepacking, more gravel, not so much single track. And we were also worried about reports that there was no water on the Kokopelli. So we took off heading towards Dewey Bridge, following the trails alongside the Colorado River, only sometimes having to travel up the road itself because these cycleways alongside of it actually went a long way up the river that we weren't expecting. And the scenery was just amazing. The red rocks, very different, a desert environment, again, very, very different for us. And to be honest, we felt like we were having plenty of adventure just following these dedicated cycle trails.
Doing really well. 5 miles since morning tea.
So when we got to Dewey Bridge, we put our tents up and still got a few hours left in the day, so I scouted ahead and in particular went looking for water. On the first few sections of Kokopelli, there were some water sources marked on Ride with GPS maps that we had downloaded, and we thought we'd better check out whether they would supply us with enough water, because we really weren't going to take anything out of the Colorado River itself. It was so filthy. And as you see, we encountered a few problems. Ironically, a massive storm was coming in as I was driving up and back from these supposed water sources, and they would later provide quite a lot of water and wind and little twisters, but at the time the water sources were absolutely dry. I even tried digging down to find them and just couldn't. So hightailed back to the campsite and rethought what we were going to do, because there's no way we can do this without a reliable source of water. And later on the storm came in, it poured down with rain for about 3 hours, and the wind was astonishing. Little mini twisters ripped through the camping area, and we were very lucky not to lose our tents. They're only made of Cuban fibre, and at one point I was trying to hold it down from the inside while Kath was running around trying to hammer in the pegs and the guy ropes. Not good. And all in all, we just felt that this wasn't going to work. Especially as in places, and you guess you see it here, this wasn't a bad example, this track was quite rough, and a lot of it you are either riding in sand, 20 centimetres of sand, or you are riding on quite rough rocks. It was great, but to do that for the next sort of 80 kilometres, we just really weren't set up for it, especially without the water. So we changed our plans, deciding to continue on the Dinosaur Highway, part of the Dinosaur Diamond loop, and to go by road, backcountry road often, through to Cisco, which seemed like an interesting place to go to, a bit of a ghost town, and then a little bit on the interstate, which was interesting, and by back roads again down to Mac, crossing the border into Colorado. And it was the right decision to do, because it was otherwise way too rough, way too hot, and as it was, we had to spend about $10 US buying water at Cisco. There was nothing in terms of places to resupply. So we felt lucky just getting to where we got to by the end of this day. best on this and see how we go. And then the last phase was to link up a few side roads going through Fruita and then back down to the main river, Riverside Track, which was basically just a concrete trail. And yeah, got the train from Grand Junction into Denver. Kath and Ruben flew back to Auckland at that point, and I went north to Missoula, Montana. Did some more biking, did some more research, and continued on with my sabbatical.